Good evening, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to weigh in on an astronomy factoid or observation. One of the things I've been looking at lately is astronomy videos, subject matter, facts, and stuff, and it's very interesting to me that there are still a lot of opportunities for growth and understanding in the community. And things you read, things I read or have read, are stated with a lot of authority and a lot of confidence many times. And I think sometimes it's a little bit out of proportion or undeserved because honestly, we have only sent up so many probes and ships at this point and taken so many measurements, and there's still so much, even in our solar system, that has not been checked out thoroughly. One of these things that I think might be an opportunity to better understand, for example, is the ongoing description of planetary inner heat, such as the volcanic activity inside the planet Earth and in the moon, for example. All the planets have inner heat, it is thought, but I have been reading something that I think isn't entirely accurate. It's a detail about this fact that is not correct, I think. I've been reading that the heat that is detectable in this day and age, right now, as in under the Earth's surface, under the crust, and in other planets, including the moon, etc., is just simply what has been there since they formed, and it has been gradually cooling ever since. Okay. First of all, I think that there's something wrong with the time scale here, because if that's all it was, all the planets would have cooled a long time ago. Based on the timeline that I'm looking at, 4 point whatever billion years for our solar system, give or take, that's plenty of time for even something as big as a planet to cool off. That's a lot of time. But I think actually there's something else going on. And maybe this is obvious. Maybe I'm misreading it. But it seems like the compression is the source, not so much the early formation and the friction thereof and fire and, all the early heat of the universe. I don't think any of that is even a variable nowadays. But I think that there's an ongoing generator that's caused by gravity. I think that when you have enough mass in an area, it will create heat. I think that's exactly what's happening. So the heat of our planet is never really going to dissipate, if I'm right, because there's always going to be mass and gravity and compression such that creates that internal geothermal activity. So I've been hearing some strange things about how planets dissipate their heat. Well, with due respect, we human beings haven't been taking measurements long enough to really confirm that, if you ask me. But I don't think that's true. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems much more likely that just gravitational compression of mass on the scale of a planet or a star, obviously, it gets beyond a point and it gets so hot that fusion begins, right? Well, there you have it. That's exactly what happens. It's not just because there was a lot of mass that came into contact together. It's because of the gravity and the heat that is generated when it compresses. I think that's exactly all it is. So it's good news, maybe, because I think that the geothermal stuff that we have here, the volcanism and the dynamo in the middle of the earth that people are kind of worried about, the magnetism depends on the heat and it's going to cool off eventually. And no, I don't think it is. My whole point here, in conclusion, I don't think it's ever going to cool off as long as there's gravity, That probably not going anywhere. Reach out if you like with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.